In the western United States, where rainfall and water storage is limited and demand for water is high, disagreements arise over who gets to use the water that is available and for what. So, who decides who gets how much water and when? How are farmers, citizens, tribes, national parks, and other water users ensured that they will get their fair share of water? We have invited John Bergeron, who will answer our questions for us. John got his PhD in environmental studies at the University of Colorado Boulder and now works as a water policy analyst for a nonprofit called Western Resource Advocates. John, we're so happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Today, most Western states follow prior appropriation, which can be stated as first in time, first in right. And we're wondering what happens in a very dry year, when there is simply not enough water for everyone.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting system for how we manage our water systems here in the West. As you just went over, prior appropriation means that the older that your water right is, the more senior it is. So if my water right is from 1896 and your water right is from 1905, mine is more senior. And therefore, in a dry year, if there's not enough water to go around, you might actually be shut off, or water won't actually be diverted to your right if my right can't get filled.
And what happens if different users feel like they have the right to the same water and cannot agree on it?
Yeah, so it's a tough situation because water is so important for so many things, from growing our food to our drinking water to recreation. And so a lot of people feel very strongly about it. And if they think they're not getting the water that they have a right to, they can actually take it to, in most states, a water court. The water scarcity issues in the Four Corners region cannot always be solved locally. Large rivers often cross multiple states, which means that states have to come up with rules and regulations to share their river water. This set of rules and regulations and agreements between states is called a compact. A famous or perhaps notorious example of a river water compact is the Colorado River Compact. All 4 states in the Four Corners region are part of the compact that was established in 1922. So, John, could you please explain to us how this compact works? So as you just described, there's the Colorado River Compact of 1922, and what that and a bunch of other agreements throughout the rest of the 1900s, what they have done is allocated water between those 7 Colorado Basin states and 2 states in Mexico. And so what the compact does is it says any given year, a state gets X amount of water. So in what's known as the lower basin, which is California, Nevada, and Arizona, they get a certain quantity of water from the Colorado River every year. In the upper basin, which is Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and New Mexico, gets a certain percentage of whatever is available every year. And then Mexico gets, like the lower basin, a certain quantity of water every year. We've come to the situation now where the Colorado River is over appropriated, which means there's more water demand than is actually available. So that water that we thought we could divide up between the states is not as much as we did think, and therefore we're seeing now states have to take less water than they have legally allocated in that Colorado River Compact. One final important thing to know about how the Colorado River works is, if you think about a watershed where all the snow and rain and groundwater, everything within that watershed will funnel into a river, in the Colorado River Basin, water is taken and through pipelines and tunnels and other diversions, it's taken out of the Colorado River Basin. And so that water no longer goes back into the river.
And what if the needs for water use of the involved states change over time? For instance, because more people move into a particular state or because of climate change?
Where you're seeing the biggest change in water use in the Colorado River Basin is for that drinking water supply for growing cities and towns. So the Colorado River Basin is one of the fastest growing regions in the country. You know, we live here because we all like it, and a lot of other people like it too. And so a lot of people are moving here, population's increasing, and so we're seeing more need for drinking water supplies in our growing cities and towns. The other way it's changing is, as you mentioned, with climate change. So as the region continues to warm, we actually see a reduction in the amount of water that is available in the Colorado River. So a warming region means less snowpack, which means less water in the Colorado River, which means even less to go around for all the states, both in the US and Mexico.